Welcome everybody. I feel like the Santa hat is like the white brim is a little too big. It just
It's
is
it's a
ratio
little
wise.
big,
It's a
yeah.
little obnoxious. It's a little loud for Santa hat. But anyways, enough dilly dallying. Welcome to the Underbelly Hours yearly recap. We made it. We made it, guys. We made it another year. So
Dude, don't
yeah,
remind me.
welcome
That's
to
crazy.
our year in review episode. We like to do these from time to time.
Every year.
Every year
Annually?
to go through some of our favorites. We like to reminisce about the great year in music that we covered in local music specifically. And so, yeah, strap in and tune in because we're going to just assault your ears with hit after hit in our local scene.
That's
It's just
true.
going to be a barrage, all right? A volley of amazing music arrows
That's
coming
what I
your
was
way.
gonna-
All right.
put Flaming
I've
arrows.
been watching a lot of Hawkeye. All right. He's got some trick arrows, and they're all just music. They just
Yeah.
burst into a boombox and just start.
But they're on fire, though. That's the important part. 'Cause
Right.
They're fire tunes.
Boom.
Boom.
They'll kill you.
Josh
mur-
is like, why am I here?
They'll murder you. Anyways, yeah. So, welcome to the Underbelly Hours. I'm Dan.
I'm Adela.
And this is the Underbelly Hours in my basement. Cue theme song.
Take off your coat, stay a while!
All right. Woo! Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl. It's the boys. All sorts of things are happening on the show today. All right.
So, yeah, welcome to the show.
Oh, it'll be a good time.
If you like what you hear,
Are you ready?
you can find us on Underbelly Hours,
All sorts of
on all the socials, where you get your favorite local takes on the local greats.
Here it comes. Ready? Sing it with us. All right. I feel like we should explain, though, who this person is. If people don't know, if you're not constantly listening to the Underbelly Hours, and if you don't know what the Underbelly After Hours are, we have our wonderful, fantastic editor, also cameraman, also just human extraordinaire Josh, right here with us. Josh, would you like to say something to the listeners?
This mic is pointing at my eyes.
Well, you can adjust it. That is, it's not against the rules here.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I joined the team in 2021. They needed a cameraman. I had a camera, and that was pretty much it. Helped rebuild one of the computers, and that was another thing.
Helped build us a new computer.
Yeah, build a new computer. Had thought I could salvage that piece of junk. That thing was gone. That thing was gone. So yeah, having a lot of fun behind the camera.
I mean,
You
I'm
get to
still
push the
using it.
buttons. It's a piece of shit.
It's running everything fine in my room. But
It's
I
hot
appreciate
garbage.
your. Okay, well. It runs Ableton, so you know what? Why do I care? Gosh. But yeah, no, you came on and just like really helped us, helped steer us through all of our technological endeavors that we wanted to embark upon.
A lot of fun.
That being more video
Mhm.
features, more video content, helping our busy asses out with just editing in general, editing the episodes.
It's a
And
very time-consuming process.
yeah, especially
Yeah.
when you have like us as your hosts rambling on sometimes more than necessary. I'm speaking about me specifically.
Most of the time, folks, the cuts don't come very often. Only when artists will request to be cut, like to have a certain thing cut out, and that's happened few and far between. So what you listen to is almost uncut. There's very few things that are cut out, but it's almost uncut. So it's very organic, and it's a lot of fun listening back. You know.
Damn right.
Yeah.
That's just because
It's
so
part of
pro.
our charm that we ramble a little bit, but you know what? I think it also, I mean, I say that kind of ironically, but at the same time, I do say that partially unironically. I think that, compared to some of the other interview shows that are around here, I think it's nice that we have something that's a little bit more unfiltered, a little bit less strict, and
Yeah.
it allows for more things to be like kind of brought up naturally, organically.
Authentic. Insert keywords here. All right.
Buzzwords.
Yes, buzzwords. Right.
Right,
know?
right. But I think it is important to note that, before we get into the music of this year,
We would just like to keep tooting our own horns
no,
for a little bit more.
No, but this year was
Tell us, Adela, how much better are we compared to our competition?
no.
Because I think very.
Oh my
Very
God,
much better.
Dan. What I wanted to say was I think it's cool to acknowledge right from the get-go that this year brought a lot of changes for the Underbelly Hours, and it's in a good way. Like, we got more cameras. We got Josh. We got cameras point blank. We didn't have cameras before. We were able to start interviewing people in person again because 2020 was pretty much all virtual. So that was an important thing to get through. And starting our showcases live on a consistent basis. Because before we were doing like twice a year showcases in different venues, depending on who was free.
Different venues. Usually pretty bad timing with weather.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We never lucked out.
The
with that.
January Cairo Ale House was by far the worst decision we could have made for a show in negative degree weather and black ice on the roads in a blizzard. So we've learned.
Cairo's great, though.
Cairo's fantastic.
Cairo's great. Rest in peace.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
They'll be back. The Massey brothers, they've got some stuff cooking.
Ooh, that's exciting to hear.
Oh, yeah, we should have like a memoriam in memoriam of like all the artists that we've either found out broke up or venues that we found out unfortunately shut down.
That would be a good.
I think we'll close with a nice sour note like that. We'll save that for the end, right?
Yeah. Well, you know how like in the Oscars they always have a moment where it's like in memoriam and they show like the black and white pictures of everyone who's passed. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, we'll do that.
At the
Really unflattering pictures.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's kind of like ranked in fame too. It's kind of awkward, It's like they plow through all these like producers and session musicians that are just behind the scenes that nobody's really heard of unless you're in the industry. And then all of a sudden you get like, oh snap, here's Michael Jackson.
Right, and it's like on his face for 15 seconds.
Yeah, just dragged out.
Yeah.
The horrid
This guy was
face.
important. Right.
Fading in from before he had the accident into like after he had the surgery and everything.
Did he have an accident?
Yeah, his hair caught on fire.
I didn't mess with his face, man. That's not why he stopped having a nose. I'm kidding. What did happen to that guy?
He had vitiligo or something.
Started
like
like, oh, it was an actual thing. It
that.
wasn't
It was
just
actually,
him
no,
like
he had
him
vitiligo.
bleaching his skin and stuff.
He actually went to a tanning bed and he stayed there for too long.
It didn't work. It did the opposite.
The opposite happened.
Yeah.
Wow, he should get his money
Sun
back.
bleaching, I think.
I'm learning so much.
It's what you said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, my apologies, Mr. Jackson. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real. Never meant to make fun of your face. I apologize.
So Underbelly Hour.
Yeah. Anyways,
So yeah, it's been a year full of changes, of good things that have happened. I think it's important to look back on that and acknowledge it, right?
right, and just pat ourselves on the back ad nauseum, just continuously. Just we're the best,
No.
guys. I can't think of anybody
Oh
better
my God.
in the scene
There's lots of
than
great
myself. And you know what I'm saying is 100% accurate because I can tell you right now I'm the most humblest person on the face of the earth. So you know that like if I'm complimenting myself, it's
coming
for
from a
good
good
reason.
place.
It's coming from like
So humble you could write a book about yourself.
oh yeah, I've already done several.
Really?
Yeah. None of them are published, but we're working on it. It's just they don't want the opportunity wasted. They don't want people to say like, "Oh, this book was ahead of its time." They want to make sure that when it comes out, the public's ready. I'm sorry, I'm gonna retire this bit now. I really took that to a whole new level.
Well, It's all right, because, hey,
I
this
hate
is...
myself. I suck.
No,
I'm the
you
worst
don't, Dan.
co-host. I mean, I'm the worst musician. I'm the worst interviewer. I'm definitely a bad interviewee.
I think, Dan, that you're fantastic. All right, listen.
Thanks. I
we're
think
here
you're
to celebrate.
fantastic.
Wow.
You make me better because of how good you are.
No, but thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know how to come back from that. So let's talk about music
That's
now.
our transition.
That's
We
our
got ourselves
transition.
out of the rut.
The ditch. Yes, we're here to talk about music now. Okay, so Underbelly Artists, lots of cool stuff happened here. But how about in music? What was going on there? Do you want to start with songs or do you want to start with moments in music that like we remember from this year?
Let's start off with a moment each, and then we'll go into some music, and then we might take some like pauses and breaks to reminisce over another moment, maybe that had something to do with the band we're listening to or artist we're listening to, you know, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay.
Can I start off?
Yes.
Because this was one of my favorite. I mean, I don't like to play favorites, but I have favorites. I'm sorry, guys. This is going to be a little bit of a favorites episode, but it's not like against anyone who, you know, isn't included. We can't include everybody. Right? We interviewed a lot of freaking people.
It'd be like a 50-hour podcast if we had everybody. So
right, nobody cares about that. So we're gonna keep to the highest of highlights. And I'm gonna start us off with one of my favorite moments, one of my favorite interviews with the one and only Tall Doug.
Tall Doug.
Tall Doug.
Oh my God, yeah.
Looking back at that episode was so much fun.
His energy was just what I want every episode to be. Just this, just unabashed, just like no cares whatsoever, but has like really good opinions still. Like it's not just like, oh yeah, whatever, man, I'm just a punk, you know. It's like, no, he's still very like smart and thought out and just funny as all heck.
Mm-hmm.
But it does stem from this like, psh, why would I care what people think? I'm just going to say what I'm going to say, and then boom. And
it's a perfect like indie and DIY mentality of like just wanting to do things because you love doing them and sharing it with people who also love them.
Mm-hmm.
And realizing it doesn't matter if people like in the end dislike it or like it. It's what you want to do, and I think it's really great. I also love his mentality about like music too. It was fantastic.
So the specific moment I'm thinking of is when he was not afraid to share his opinion on what he dubs guitar tappers. And I love that term. I hope he keeps using that term. I don't know if that's what he's been using or just thought up of it on the spot. But it's what he was referring to are like the guitar players like Andy McKee, you know, that like are doing all this crazy tap work on the fretboard to like, you know, add some percussion. They're tapping maybe the top strings while tapping some lower strings for a melody or higher strings or, you know, whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's just like this constant like tap work with maybe some strumming in there, but then going back to tapping and then using the
slaps the strings, a lot of harmonics.
A lot of harmonics, and then like using the body of the guitar as some extra percussion too. Yeah. And he was just not about it. He's not about them. He wants just bare bones, you know, I don't care what the chords are. I don't know what they're called, but it sounds good and I can write a cool song with them. So boom. Yeah. And I just love that mentality.
Yeah. It's not so much about like the technical part of it. It's just, can you write a good song? Cool. You know, appreciate the lack of giving a shit.
And then me having to hide the fact that I love certain guitar tappers like Andy McKee.
I think his name, I haven't checked him out in a long time, but I had a whole phase in late high school listening. Have you guys heard of Miyavi?
No.
I would fucking love. Same thing though. He's definitely like guitar tapper central.
One of those guitar tappers.
Yeah, you know, Tall Doug. Listen, appreciate your opinion. I thought it was really funny, but I not exactly on you like on the same page about about that at least.
I love your take on it though.
No, it was fantastic. It was hilarious. Or his little Michael Jackson story too is something that sticks in mind with me.
Like he could, if he wanted to go to an open mic and not play music, he could use that story and that opinion as just like a stand-up bit.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. That was a good moment. I really liked that.
How about you, Adela? Anything that sticks out for you?
From the podcast, lots of things stick out from the podcast. I think though one of my favorite moments, I was actually going to say Tall Doug as well.
I know, that's why I wanted to go first.
But I also really loved, and I know this is maybe a little bit biased because I've known her for a long time, but we did interview Jean Hatmaker this year too. And
She was great.
I thought that that was a really interesting episode because it kind of gave us insight into how being a classical, like what being a classical, predominantly classical musician is like nowadays, which I think is a more rare viewpoint. And I also loved the way she was like really honest about how difficult it could be to be a musician, and to quote unquote make it as a musician to the point where you're actually actively comfortably making money off of your music.
Mm-hmm.
And she was unabashed. You know, she was saying, yeah, like, you know, my 20s sucked. My 20s were really hard. I was working a lot, but now I'm finally at a place where everything's comfortable and I'm able to experiment more with what I want to do and what kind of musician I want to be. So I thought that her advice for younger musicians and for people who like music in general and are thinking about doing it as a career, I thought her advice was both really witty and also like just super straight on the head, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I really like that. Also, her album with Joyce Josephine was incredible.
Yeah.
Not all the stuff I liked necessarily because it's very contemporary, but it was really interesting textures and everything too. So
Such an old soul. I didn't like it. It was too contemporary.
no, there was some stuff. I mean, okay, I like some of the more
kidding.
contemporary stuff. It's just I'm not a huge. I'm still slowly getting into like operatic singing. I'm now at the point where I could watch operas,
Okay.
but I've been slow to like the
Yeah.
entering.
You're further along than me.
When I was in college, we went to Indiana University, and they had the Jacob School of Music, that incredible music program. We got to see some of their productions, and it's definitely an acquired taste opera. It's like first hearing it, listening to it, like I was in school and I was studying this kind of style, and I was like, okay, I'll buy in, and it is genuinely impressive. There's a lot of physical feats that you can do in opera, which can translate over to like different genres. What it taught me was just like so much of this stuff is kind of universal, at least as far as like vocal technique and how the foundations of all that and how it lays out for everybody. It's just the tone, the production that gets different in the long run. So it's interesting. Opera is very interesting.
Oh, sorry. I was.
You can leave.
You can go see an opera.
Maybe we will, Dan. Okay?
Have fun or
We
try
won't
to.
invite you when we go, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, but Jean Hatmaker's episode was really cool. Also, I was really excited just to feature some of her music because I know what a great musician she is. And it's cool to kind of be able to come full circle, even though it's not like that big of a deal, but to pay her back in some regard and like show some people in the world how incredible she is.
Oh, yeah, no,
She was
she's
my
amazing.
cello teacher, so like to pay that back.
Your
a
what
little bit.
teacher?
My cello teacher.
Okay, I heard tello.
Cello teacher.
My tello teacher.
My cello teacher. Okay, enough. Yes, so Jean Hatmaker's episode was lovely, and we called it Cello World, so I thought that was nice.
It was very punny.
As it should be.
Jack Black would be proud.
I love Jack Black.
All right. Let's get
And
into
on
some
that
music.
note-
Let's play some tunes.
All right.
Preferably not opera.
Or Jack Black.
Or what?
Well, we're not here to talk
Yeah.
about Tenacious D, though. As incredible as they are. Let's start with, okay, we got 3 categories that Dan and I talked about as far as
How do we
songs
want to
go.
reminisce?
How we want to reminisce, right? Because there's a lot of music that was released. How are we going to categorize this? We have albums, songs, and we have new
New discoveries that
Yeah.
we made. New, either just brand new on the scene, like they just started this year, or somehow we had never come across them yet, and we fell in love with them.
exactly.
So yeah, and I don't know what you want to start with. I have first on my list. I listed all the EPs and albums.
Let's do that
I
then.
thought
Okay.
was spectacularly done, and that I keep going back to, and I put in my local favorites playlist among some other playlists as well, because some of them are just so dang good and have such a vibe that I just gotta be jamming out to them all the time. Um, and these are in no particular order. I did not rank these because I thought that would be impossible. I think that would be impossible to do, and just wouldn't really make any sense because they are so varied in genre. So to compare, like, because there's no order, I have like Broken Robots next to like Ryan Herrick. That doesn't really, you can't really compare those two. That's a little weird. So, but yeah, I would like to just start off with Broken Robots because hell yeah, their EP, The Escape Artist, was just, they just kept bringing it. Like, I fell in love with Home Is Not a Place. I just love that album. There's so many jams on it, and I mean, yeah, I just fell in love with them ever since they came on the show. I know you had talked them up to me before, but I guess, I don't know, I was just either an asshole, or I didn't have enough time, or I was just a piece of
Didn't have
shit,
time.
and I
That's
just
so
didn't
fun.
listen to them until I was prepping for them to come on the show, and I listened to them, and I was like, oh my god, this is it. These are the guys. These are the homies that I want to just jam out to all the time. They got something new and fresh, but yet still, like, throwback almost. There's like,
Absolutely.
and they start to evolve in that, evolve on that in this new EP. They start kind of like harnessing in their own sound. You can still hear like all these crazy influences. Like, there's still, these really awesome tight grooves, but then there's this still like kind of hip hop
Absolutely.
cadence, but it's still kind of like reminiscent of 90s alternative shit with like production and stuff. And it's so good. It's so good, and it gets stuck in my head all the time. And the lyrics this time around are, well, I mean, they're always good, but like, I love, oh shoot, what's it called? I didn't have the track list ready, but the one where it's like 11001100
Mockingbird, yeah.
11001.
It's a great music video.
Yeah,
It's
I
so
love it.
cool.
It's so good, and the lyrics are like, I just love how she delivers the line, like, you're like, it is their fault, and we and we should blame them. It's like, just because it goes on to this whole like tangent about like, direct references to the algorithmic world we live in.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. If you translate the binary at the beginning of the song, translates to whatever.
Literally whatever.
It actually translates to whatever. It's whatever in binary.
That's awesome.
This one, we wouldn't have known that if Josh wasn't here. That's pretty dope. Josh is
See? Boom.
Also, I think this goes to show that like we all perked up. I think we all super got into Broken Robots.
100%.
And I just want to elaborate really quickly on what you said about the EP. I think they really, like, they polished off their sound, I think, with this EP. Like, this is their sound. It's fantastic. It's a really good mix now of, like, the hip-hop and the rock that's going on.
She very much has like a garbage feel to her like style. Her vocal style very much feels like the girl from Garbage.
See, I don't listen to that much Garbage, so I'm just like, I think it's badass just by itself.
On the show, I think.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, and then just, really quickly before we move on, Broken Robots, what was really cool too, what sticks with me, especially with that EP, is the EP release show, because I will
Yeah.
never
Tell us
forget
this story.
that EP release show was fantastic. First of all, incredible artists, right? Incredibly good performers. They're really good at connecting with the crowd. It was also at Martyrs, which has really good sound. It was a nice place. But then the EP release show, the icing on the cake was that it happened on the evening of the day where Chicago opened back up again. So everyone was just really excited. The energy was very much like palpable. Like, you can feel everyone's excitement, and yeah.
Still electric. I wish I could have been there. I hated to miss it, but I think, yeah, I had a gig or something, and it's just, I wanted to just, quit my job. Sorry, I can't do it. I gotta go see the best band ever.
Well, they're gonna obviously still keep playing. There are many chances to see them, and I'm very excited.
Better.
I think Arnold from XRT finally started posting something about them.
Finally.
Like fingers crossed that like maybe we could. He's really good about local scene stuff. Like there's a couple other DJs who do stuff with the local scene, but I really respect what Ryan does. Hopefully maybe he could kind of slip them into XRT because they would fit that listener profile very well, perfectly. So yeah, that's all. I want to say that.
If they're not a household name within like 2 years, I'm starting an assault on DJs around the world and radio stations. And also, on top of that,
Spotify.
I'm going to be swatting every playlister out there. Just going to find their information. SWAT's coming.
Oh my god.
And they're going to be in on it too. Every SWAT team is going to be like, "Hey, I see your playlist, bro. And
Nope.
guess what it's missing? Some broken robots. So guess what? I'm going to have to break you."
Oh my god.
And then it's just going to be like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be a huge achievement in a campaign that I'm setting out to do.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that. And for legal reasons, that was all
A
in
joke.
joking. But if you do start seeing headlines in the next couple of years,
All coincidence.
just coincidental, folks. All right. Don't worry about it. But one last little gush on them. Their episode was also one of my top favorite moments, just in general, hearing their story, how they came together, what they overcame, and just there was so many life lessons and inspirations to get from that episode. So I recommend everyone go back and listen to the episode with Broken Robots. It was a treat, and I think Kat and Tony just recently celebrated their 5th year of sobriety.
They
So
did.
I would like to also give them a very warm congratulations. Thanks, guys, and keep doing what you're doing because it's awesome shit.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to just like run down your list and then?
Sure,
I'll
I'll
run
just
down?
all right, yeah, we'll just keep going. Also, I totally think we should put like a little teaser
Little
of
clip?
Broken Robots in there.
Okay.
All right, next one again, not in an order or anything. It's just how I thought of them. Is well, he put out 2 EPs, but they're kind of tied together a little bit. They're thematically very similar.
We all know who this will be.
Yes, it is. Or yes, you do. It is. It's Ryan Herrick. All right.
What a surprise!
It's my boy, Ryan Herrick. Dude. I love those songs. They're such good instrumental tunes. I know. But he put out 2 EPs of just instrumental guitar music, some with extra little percussion or layers in there. But they're called Of Sea and Of Land. And I think they both have 6 tracks or so on them. And they're just really beautiful and gorgeous, like earthy. Like you just want to go walk in nature on a sunny day and just like vibe out and just let all the stupid material world just melt away and just kind of go on a journey. Lots of tunes from those EPs added to my also like my morning folk playlist, just because it's like that's a nice way to wake up is to some nice instrumental Ryan Herrick. So shout out to you, man. I think one of my favorites from that, let me just shout it out real quick. Birds of, I don't know how to say this, but Rhiannon. Birds of Rhiannon? Rhiannon?
I say the very Americanized Rhiannon.
Rhiannon? Probably that.
That's the name of a Fleetwood Mac song, right? Rhiannon.
I think so. Yeah. So that was from Of Land, I think, and then Inside Your Dreams is another one of my favorites from Of Sea. And those are some good tunes.
Also, just a quick shout out to Ryan Herrick for being on our live spotlight showcase. He performed incredibly.
So good.
So many hearts
Stole many hearts.
on that show. People really liked his music, and that was a really great show.
That was like a stacked lineup, too. We had Olivia Ports and Jory Avner, and then Ryan Herrick finished out the night. Dude, that was
a good night of music.
that was as stacked as Ruby Goldsmokes.
Yeah. Well, I think all of them have been, like, listen, then we also had Child of Eve, Christina
Oh yeah, that was that was stacked. Mirabelle, Christina, and yeah, we're just the best. We're so good. Let's keep doing this. We should probably keep doing this. Okay. Next, I don't think you have really spent the time checking them out.
Uh-oh.
And they actually put out 2 albums this year because they, at one point, were like on a streak of just releasing a new song every Friday. And that is
That's incredible.
Crab Cat.
Oh, I love crap. I mean,
The-
well, I've listened to one song, but the one song I have listened to.
All right. It's an electronic duo featuring Ryan Caldwell from Invisible Cartoons, another little favorite of ours here on the show. Unfortunately, no new music this year, so we can't really talk about them. But Ryan was very busy in his new studio, making a ton of electronic music with Crab Cat. My favorite is their first that they put out. I think it was just a little bit more cohesive. The second one, it just seemed like the compilation of all the singles they had put out. So the first one is hoverboards for sale, local pickup only. And it features also one of my favorite songs by them, Bloomin'. It is such a bop.
Blooming like a flower or like a blue man?
No, blooming.
I just wanted to clarify.
Blooming like the flower, but without the G, because, you know, we gotta be black bloomin'. Here we go, just a little bit of it. All right, it's nice and lisp. It's nice and airy, atmospheric, really super chill. And then we get into the beat. I just want to like cruise down the road, and if I was an 8-bit character, that would be even cooler. That would be feeling more appropriate if I could just turn into an 8-bit NPC and just cruise down the road. Maybe like a rainbow road or something. Or like if I could just hop into Pilot Wing 64. Yeah. But that's some of the cool, like, that's like the electronic music that I really dig, is just really awesome synth sounds and just a good beat and stuff. I don't need any like crazy kind of stuff. I just need some nice chill like electronic tones, man.
What people would normally call electronic dance music. You don't like that?
I'm not saying that specifically, but I vibe with something else. So Crab Cat, shout out to you, Ryan, and your partner in crime that I forgot to write down the name of, but it's a duo. Okay, it's an electronic duo. He's got another genius helping him out.
That was really cool. Very, very much like a cool synthwave vibe.
Well, yeah, and there's so much more on that. Like, I included, I think, 6 songs off the album into other playlists and stuff. I remember when I first played you that song, Josh, that you were like, "Whoa, who is this?" And I was like, "Crab Cat."
It was really cool.
And he was like, "Who's Crab Cat?" I'm like, "You know Invisible Cartoons? You know that awesome dope keyboard player?
Yeah.
That keytar player?"
Guitar.
Yeah. And he's like, "Whoa." He doesn't remember because, you know, he's the cameraman. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but
Take pictures of everything. so
have
I
we
can
shared
remember
any EPs or albums yet, Adela? On your list? On your list?
On my list? Yeah, Broken Robots was on my list.
For sure. Okay.
I mean, it had to be, right?
It had to be. Yeah, there's no way. All right.
No way around it.
Next, that I actually want to talk a little bit about too, is Wild Dogs Howling.
Girl, get out of here! That was on my list too. I mean,
Bello and the Whale.
I had for this situation. I thought we might have some overlap, so I have like
Yeah.
one or two backups that I can
Okay.
talk about. But Bello and the Whale.
Do you want me to just keep going down and
So
then
fucking
I can
good.
save that one for you to expel upon?
Sure.
Sure.
Well, yeah.
Or
We'll
expunge
nerd
upon.
about it for sure. but I
Okay.
was a part of a recording process, so I can give a little
I just
more.
wanted to say that it was on my list first, and that I wasn't lying or anything, or just trying to be like, oh yeah, no, that was totally on my list. I totally
Right.
remembered. No, I jam out to those lovely ladies all the time. Such good music, such good
So
harmonies.
good.
But Adela will obviously go into more detail. Keep going down. Stay Broke by Tall Doug. Dude, I love that like acoustic punk stuff. It's like that nice.
Also, it's like, yeah, damn, we've all, I don't know, felt this way. It's nice to hear somebody just like being
Just being
so honest.
so honest.
3 chords, all you need. Die with My Friends. I love that.
I
like
love
that's
that.
my
That's my jam. That's my favorite song. That one and the
Yeah.
first one.
I wish I was drunk.
I wish I was drunk.
Yeah.
Yep, dude, so good. Wish that I was drunk. A Million Stories is also really good. King of the World, also a personal favorite. And then yeah, Die with My Friends, just really good album. If you like punk, you'll like this. And if you don't like punk,
You'll
you'll still like it because it's not like in your face screaming punk. It's not like he's not like getting super raspy like or whatever, or just like I hate the world, down with burn everything. It's like no, it's like dude, get a 6-pack, step out on your porch and just chill out with this album, drink with your buddies, and just
It's like pop
Hang.
punk in the sense of what pop punk started as, which is, a movement away from screaming about the world's problems to complaining about your own problems.
yeah.
So, yeah. No, I mean, it's good. It's good stuff.
It's just real shit. It's just really real. Like if you, it really
I was hoping that
encapsulates.
you would just say that and then pass it and be like, great,
This is real.
great statement. Just it's really real.
That's really real.
Really?
Oh yeah, that's real. Yeah. It encapsulates his personality. If you don't know who that guy is, like it really encapsulates stay broke.
It's some mindset.
All right, next. I just got 2 more that I'll actually want to talk a little bit about, and then the rest I'll just kind of throw out real quick.
Wait, I thought we were doing 5.
Is it just 5?
How many do you have? We can do more than 5.
There's a lot of albums that came out,
I know.
Adela. All right,
That's why we're gonna try to
we're
talk
discovering
more.
we're discovering a rich scene here. All
I
right.
know.
I'll just go real quick.
Okay.
Our ancestors' wildest dreams.
Hell yeah.
I'll let you talk about them because I'm sure that's on your list. It's on your list.
It's on my list.
Ah, look who's right. EP The Table's Trill by Mirabelle Skipworth. I really feel like she, I don't know, it's just getting way, like, every time she puts out new music, you can tell she's just growing as a songwriter and as just, like, a composer, too. Like, the way she really knows how to work with her studio, too. Like, she just kind of knows what she wants, how to get the sounds she wants now, I feel like.
It's cool to see her experimenting. I think that she's reaching into different corners of her personality and her beliefs too,
Mhm.
and it kind of comes across. Like the first EP album of hers was very much like stories about other people, and now it's getting more and more about unraveling some of her own philosophies and the things that she
A little bit more
thinks.
introspective.
Yeah. So I think it's cool.
All right. Actually, I'll save that one for new finds. I would like to do 2 little shout-outs to Jack the Acquaintance, who put out I Killed Rock and Roll. That was a really fun album. I was blown away by his compositions, how much just amazing layering he put on that album. It sounded really good. I liked his guitar playing.
It was just nice. It was kind of it was very warm. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was very accessible, and I really
Yes.
enjoyed it. It was accessible in the sense that, but it wasn't boring pop
No.
music or something like that. No, it was just hey, it was I don't know, something almost you feel like you might have heard it before in a
Yeah.
good way.
It definitely hits it hard right out the gate with Seattle. Such a bop. And then Other Side, Nature's Neighbor.
Yeah, good.
That one's, I said,
Good shit.
eclectic as hell.
Yes.
There's some random ass turns in some of those songs, but it's good.
That's another episode that was fantastic, by the way. Was talking to Mike and Terrell about this project, this band that constantly is a revolving, living thing because all of the members don't live in the same place anymore. it's kind of like Mike's the captain and Terrell's often on the albums, but he's not always on the album. So it's like they've created this entity that has a cool sound, but doesn't always have the same members from project to project, which is interesting. Lots of cool conversations came out of that, and also they're just fun people. And great, like, prolific songwriters, too, who had completely different experiences during the pandemic. Because Mike had to step away a little bit from writing music, I believe, and then Terrell was like, nope, I'm going to write about, was it Cheetos or something we were talking about? I don't know.
Yeah, I think he did write a song about Cheetos.
Go check it out. It was fun talk.
We had a lot of good
Fun
stuff this year. All right.
Oh, now
what am I
I'm
missing
next.
from your list?
All right,
What
so
did I forget
let
about?
me just say that we have had some overlap, obviously. So, Escape Artist, Broken Robot, obviously had to be on my list. We already talked about that, though, so I won't talk about that. Ancestors' Wildest Dreams, on my list as well.
Who's that?
Who is by Ruby Goldsmoke. Fantastic duo, husband and wife duo. I was there for the album launch party, which was fun. It was just like a listening party. They were just telling stories about each song, and we were all jamming. It was really fun. Blown away by the production on that.
Mm-hmm.
Everything sounds so professional. It's wild. And I think each song fits very well into, again, like the pop accessibility thing.
Mm-hmm. There's so many grooves.
There's so many grooves. You don't get bored by listening to it, though, because it's all like very genuine to them too.
Oh yeah.
The album, I think,
They ain't
as a
sellouts.
whole, yeah. Well, also like the album as a whole explores different genres, but still manages to keep it kind of within the soundscape of Ancestors' Wildest Dreams too, which is really fun. Like I love how they went from like a dancey kind of beat for Higher Love to like one of my all-time favorites, which is Getting in Love's Way, has a very like
Oh yeah.
old school kind of like a little bit of that gospel feel to it. It's got like, I've likened it a little bit to something that like reminded me a little bit of this was a Memphis artist named William Bell. His stuff just really reminded me of their stuff. It's just so good. And it's interesting too because, you know, very much exploring different types of genres, but still has their signature sound in Ancestors' Wildest Dreams. And they also talk about love for a lot of it, most of it, all of it, in different situations. It's not all like, oh, I'm just so happy living in my life with my husband and my wife, you know. I don't know why that rhymed. It talks about the difficult aspects of love too, and how to get through that, and how to work at it, how to work in a relationship.
Yeah, it doesn't go about it in like a self-defeating way or like a cynical way as some of those types of song topics maybe trend in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I've heard some of the
No, absolutely, you're right.
I'm done with this. I'm just gonna go find a woman that understands or something.
Right.
It's like, what? But no, they're just like, no, stop getting in love's way, man.
Yeah, stop getting in love's way. It's incredible stuff. And they're just powerhouse couple, man. Record together,
Powerhouse.
have a record label, they have an organization, like a charity organization. They're just incredible stuff. As far as a shout out from the album, it's really hard to say though, because they're all really good.
Yeah, these are my top picks.
We've talked about Higher Love and Getting in Love's Way. I talk about Getting in Love's Way all the fucking time, so maybe let's play something else. Oh man, I love the little gospel choirs on Greener Grass.
Yeah, that's why I
Yeah?
yeah.
Want to do that one? Let's do that one. Greener Grass, a little bit. And also Danny Joe
Oh,
shines here.
Love her voice.
It's over. I can feel
right out the
hands
gate.
still on my
snaps, man. They're so
shoulder, telling me she's just a friend. Said it's over. Trying to save your face, 'cause
like the production, like all of a sudden this nice, beautiful acoustic guitar comes in. Like it's not just them coming up with a cool beat or whatever and singing some really nice, catchy melodies and stacking the harmonies and stuff. It's like no, they're thinking. I don't know. They're just so smart with it all, with the production and
Right.
knowing when to add the right layer and knowing when to introduce a new sound or take it out, subtract it, to make something else shine.
What you just said stood out to me a whole heck of a lot. Sometimes people in pop music nowadays, they literally just take one beat, loop it for the whole time, and they don't add anything to it. They don't.
Yeah.
They which is lyrics can carry the story a lot, but to make a good pop song and to make the lyrics really shine and speak and the story come to life, you have to use the music to guide the story along. It's setting up, it's putting a setting for your story. It's painting the world that your story is residing in. So, oh man, that's really good. That's
Thanks.
really good, observation.
I know.
Yeah.
I got some pretty good ideas. Some pretty good astute observations, if I do say so myself. I am, the best. And the humblest.
Of course.
Anyways,
That's why we keep you around. You're the
right.
humblest. You're
Exactly.
the humblest. So yeah, Ruby Goldsmith, go check him out. Also, shout out, thanks guys for being on our showcase in November and bringing along other people on the record label, Sisters of Element and Lamar Creation.
Oh my God.
It was a great
development.
It was a great show. Fantastic.
So good.
So tight. So that was one of my other albums. I feel like I've been talking about him a lot. I really did love Stairway to Heaven. Vagabond Maurice, like the final salute to that persona. Yep. I thought that was fantastic.
I was going to include that, but I didn't want to now that he's transferred over to a different moniker.
But I think
you're right.
It's a good salute for that, chapter in his life, that 10-year chapter in his life. It was a really important part of his musical creation and upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really like what he did with it, especially after getting a chance to hear him talk about it behind the scenes on our episode, Vagabond Maurice is back as Pluto Black, which you can check out, of course. So yeah, just my only regret is I wasn't there for the final show of his in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had to work or something.
Always an excuse, Adela.
I know.
I'm there at every show.
Just like you were there at Broken Robots, right?
Mm-hmm. Hey, my spirit goes everywhere. Right?
Spirits don't pay the bills, Dan.
Absolutely not.
No. Anyway,
No.
Stairway to Heaven, so that's another one. Wild Dogs Howlin'.
Go.
Damn.
Go.
All right. I love everything that Belle and the Whale puts out, but I thought that this was a really solid EP. I thought that, everything that they did with the social media creation around it too, the photos that they were taking in New Mexico and kind of sharing the story of each song through it too. I thought that was really cool. There was a little bit of messaging, I know, about the environment too in this one, which was cool, along with their personal stories. I also enjoyed their music for a little bit of its crypticness. Sometimes they're not entirely straightforward about what the song is about. They kind of like to keep that hidden.
I love those lyrics.
Which I think is great. Because then you can kind of imagine, put your own spin on what the story is saying to you. But musically, this was my favorite thing. And not just because I played cello on some of the tracks. Which was fantastic. Just their ideas for cello stuff on their tracks is just fantastic.
See, I heard the cello and I was like, this is way too good to be Adela.
True.
I kid.
But
You're
man,
amazing.
dude, hold up. Can we shout out? And I love this song. It's so River, right? Was it River?
I think
Bella
so.
on the Rail. There's something about that song in particular struck me so cool because that had a uneven pattern to the cadence.
Risen.
Right? No, My Worry. Sorry, My Worry. She says the word river, but My Worry. I did play cello on that one, but I like that one also because, oh my god! And then Regent's Canals Waltz is also incredible. But My Worry is so cool because there's like an uneven there's not cadence, but an uneven amount of measures between. Like, I don't know how to say this. There's like, so you have the verse, right, and then there's a little pre-chorus, which is the verse is even, pre-chorus is like odd number of measures.
Shall we just play this?
Let's just play it. It's just really good. Here's a little bit of it.
My worries are jagged stones. My mind is a river, tumbling over troubles that are smooth and familiar. Oh, let them slip away and sink on down, 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 down. My worry is a rock. My worry is a rock. My worry. My worry is a rock. My worry is a rock. My worry.
I also love that one because it like, all of a sudden there's this nice distorted guitar, and it's just
Yeah.
like get this little overdriven, not really distorted, overdriven, but like they
It's a
had a
little bit
much
more rocky there.
yeah,
you know?
which usually they're a little bit more. I don't want to say chill, but I guess a little bit more
They are.
chill, I guess, is for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
But it was cool to hear like a little bit more of a rockin' take
Mhm.
from them. And I was
Right.
like, oh, nice.
Yeah.
They can do anything they want.
They They really can. And this album too, EP, not album, but EP, every single time, I don't know how they do it. They have songs that are extremely, compare that to like, Regent Canals Waltz.
Mm-hmm.
That's like more Cirque du Soleil shit or whatever,
Yeah.
like in a waltz style. Somehow, even though those two songs are super far apart from each other, it all so cohesive. When you listen to the EP from start to finish, it just fits so well. So they're one of those artists, just like Broken Robots. And we talk a lot about everyone, being incredible for their own thing, but there are certain artists who just have such a distinctive flavor to them. And it's so incredible to see and exciting to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We.
But
No, I was just gonna say.
I don't want to say like I'm trying to single them out for like, because no one else is original, but like there's just something fresh about their take on things, because you could not have
Yeah.
a fresh take necessarily on something and still be a good artist. Does that make sense? This is gonna sound like shit now.
I think. Here, let me put it this way. Let me
Yeah.
pull you out of this ditch.
Yes,
Here,
I'm
quickly
kind of digging
yourself
myself.
into.
Yes.
It's okay. I'll save this episode. Kidding. But no, I think with you and me, we were looking for that X factor in artists and bands that just really set them apart from whatever else is happening, because the scene right now, and by scene I mean the entire frickin' music industry, and by that I mean the entire world, because anyone can upload now, is so saturated and bloated to a fault.
Mm-hmm.
I will go out and say I don't think that's a good thing. I think I'm on the other side of that double-edged sword. But yeah, so it's, I think for us, that much more important that our ears develop that X factor to just weed out all of the other noise, and not, I don't mean that like to sound mean or bad, but there's so much out there. But there's so much good stuff out there too. And they all have this like little X factor thing that's just like, it pricks your ears up. It's like, huh. And it's just firing on all cylinders. There's not like there's not something that like takes you out of it ever. It's just like through and through amazing. You never get sucked out of it. You're just jamming along with it the entire way, or mellowing out to it, whatever the vibe of the song is. And it's something that you, like, at least you and me, I feel like we're compelled to then shove it in everyone else's face. It's like, no.
Yeah.
you guys don't get it. These guys are awesome.
Yeah.
And again, not to say that the things that we're missing or things that we didn't include are bad.
We enjoy
There's
everything that we have on this program.
there's so much that we
And
left
even the
off,
stuff
too.
that we don't have on the program, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and I think that this year really we kind of just took a stand and was like, if you're on here, it's because we really, really love you, and no other reason whatsoever.
Right.
So we're not on the radio, so we don't have to fill time. We don't have to, do anything else for any other reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's if you're on, we love you, and we want to hear you talk about your amazing music because we want everyone else to hear it too.
Right.
That X factor makes us want you to be huge so that we can hear you everywhere.
Right.
So
Absolutely. And I think just really quickly going off of that, I think it's also important just to throw in here again that we also want to be passionate about the music that we talk about here. And there's certain things that maybe are good and have a place and have a potential for fans to follow.
right, it
That
might
we're not
have
gonna
all those X
feature.
factors,
Right.
but it's just not then in our taste.
In our taste. Yeah. So
Yeah, so it's not like we're trying to be the
assholes or
judges
something.
here
Yeah,
of
no.
all good music. Yeah, but we are just trying to raise the bar a bit. We want you guys to tune in and know that whatever you're getting that week is going to be something really special. Even if it's not up your alley, not up your alley, you know that it's going to be something at least very interesting, and that's, something worth checking out.
In this year that I've helped you guys with the show, it's clearly the goal was we're going to cater, our taste and kind of have that as our standard. It's not so much a quantity thing anymore as before, as it is just it's a quality shift, right? So it's not, yeah. So
Right.
yeah.
So, for all of you that didn't get to appear on the show, it's 'cause you're bad. It's 'cause you're awful. It's 'cause you should probably give up. It's your work is grotesque. It's fat and ugly to the ears. It's honestly a sinful pursuit that you guys keep trying.
I would love to hear fat and ugly music.
Right.
That would be hilarious.
I'm 100% joking, guys. I just wanted to see how mean I could go.
Yeah. Well,
I'm kidding. There was so many things that.
I know. Yeah. Disclaimer: if this is the first time you're listening to the show, this is not a good example of an episode that is like the usual episodes, and also, welcome to Dan. So.
Hey. I hate you and you suck. That's my motto.
Also, hashtag realist humblest.
Realist humblest. Realist humblest baldy. Shabam!
Wow.
The damn Santa hat probably left a ring around my dome. I got some Saturn
you're
rings.
You should.
All right. Shall we move on?
Cosplay idea. Wait, one last one. Okay.
Oh, you got another one?
I have one more. Well, I have a few more, but we'll just do one more because I was thinking about this in the car. I really want to give a shout out to Michael Oldham for his album that he released. I got to go see the album release show of it, and I was listening to it in the car and just remembered why I love it so much. Michael Oldham is a composer. I'm just looking up the name of the album again because I'm pretty sure it's a Closer Look Reveals. It is a Closer Look Reveals. He is phenomenal. He wrote this kind of about all the crazy stuff that has been happening in the pandemic. He did it to be the kind of introspective about himself, but also he used portraits to try and create soundscapes as well, which I thought was really cool. He paired them with the Egon Schiele pieces, which you guys should go check out. It's really cool. And I love his soundscapes. They're kind of like a mixture between old Hollywood, like Gershwin era stuff, and minimalism, because there's a couple of key themes that he usually chooses to focus on and kind of go back to and return to that are a little bit more simplistic in his music. So good. And I love the fact that he pairs it with like usually either his own artwork or other people's artwork. Another thing that he's done in the past and that he did in the concert was he did a couple of songs that he wrote based on GIFs or GIFs. I don't know what the fuck
No,
to
you
say.
said it right. You said it right.
GIFs. I think Joss's team
No.
GIFs.
No,
Yeah, all right.
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Keep going.
So he paired them with GIFs. He like wrote a song to go along with a 30-second GIF or whatever, like, which was really cool. Very interesting composer. One of my favorite people in the scene right now, just because I feel like this year I've gotten a lot closer again to instrumental music. So if you like instrumental music, go check it out. A Closer Look Reveals by Michael R. Oldham. He also have written some really good contemporary art songs. Just so good on YouTube.
My composer shout out then is Hawk.
Hawk?
Kiam Hawk.
Oh.
Kiam Hawk.
Kayam?
Kayam.
Yeah.
Crap. Sorry.
I remember because it's like Cayenne, but Kayam.
Yeah, Kayam Hawk.
Yeah, He's dope. He's super dope.
Yeah.
I think he's taking a break this year because, if you'll remember, on the 2020 episode, he's working on a secret project. It is a film. On a secret project.
That was the 2020 episode?
Yeah.
No.
Uh-uh.
That was
totally
this year? What is time?
Right.
What the fuck?
'Cause I remember my
my
aunt messaged me. I was like, I really like that guy.
Oh my god,
And
that was this
started listening
year.
to all his stuff.
Bro.
Yeah, so
The reason I didn't include them on my
got
list
you a
is
new fan.
I thought that he was his last. It was this year. Wow. Okay. Kayam Hawk. Incredible.
A
Phenomenal.
lot happened this year.
Circa Records. Go check it out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
I need to put on this 'cause I'm cold.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's a bit
Yeah.
chilly. Bit chilly down here in the basement.
So let's have fun reminiscing about another moment real quick. My favorite moment, one of my favorite moments of this year, is anytime somebody brought us gifts. Specifically, Situation Chicago was amazing.
Vinyl.
He brought us that vinyl.
Shout out
Ro-
to Quiet Pterodactyl.
Yeah,
Rob
Dude.
from Hey Nani.
that was so
Giving us
much
those
fun.
shirts.
And then also, I was gonna say Rob.
I still wear that shirt.
Talking
That's a
about
great shirt.
Hey Nani Nani, Hey Nani Nani, Hey Nani, in Arlington Heights, amazing venue that features amazing original artists.
Yes, we love Hey Nani. Hey Nani's fucking amazing. This is what we need more of in the Chicago suburbs.
Boom.
Also, Mick brought us beer.
Oh yeah, dude.
That was
a
pretty.
fun
That was
one.
pretty incredible.
Mick Dempsey brought us his exclusive Blood of Our Enemies brew beer from Dry City, which was in partnership with like the Yakuza band and some other brewing company. I forgot which. I have to go back and listen to the episode, but that was it. Might have been Metal Monkey.
Metal Monkey.
That sounds familiar. Because they had the whole event at Dry City and had some of the members from the band there. It was a cool thing.
Cooking burgers.
They were cooking
They're
burgers.
cooking burgers.
They had
Metal and
donuts
burgers,
everywhere.
And donuts.
And donuts, yeah.
And donuts. Yeah.
Also,
Uh,
Mick is just so fun.
It was such a fun conversation.
That's amazing.
I love it.
It's fantastic.
So those are some of the highlights that I wanted to shout out. Was when we had guests that weren't here specifically to talk up their music. It was just to talk up something else. Their venue, their project, their beer.
DZ Records, we can't forget either.
Oh my god.
DZ
Yes,
Records.
Ben.
Ben is a model human being.
Seriously.
I don't say that about a lot of people, but he's just like, how the hell do you get everything done in a day that you get done and
Yep.
do it so well? You should really go back and listen to our DZ
And
Records
then he
conversation.
still sections off time for himself too.
Right.
Like he has his
What a
like,
healthy
unwinding time.
life he
Like
leads.
he's still that productive.
Yeah, it's incredible. He recently got recognized, I think, by his high school or something for being like a distinguished alumni. He finished I think is he still doing his masters? He might have finished his masters.
I'm sure he has
Something
8
incredible
doctorates by now.
Yeah, and DZ Records I think also hit a million views this year,
Mm-hmm.
which is incredible.
DZ Fest,
Mhm.
always a staple here in the Bubs.
In the vibes. The burbs, yeah. Incredible stuff. What else happened this year? I feel like
I feel like those were the big 4 that we
the
had
big
that
four
were
guests that weren't necessarily musicians.
Brian Christian Adam.
Yes.
That's true.
The wonderful
The wonderful, delightful, super positive, philosophical Brian Christian Adam. Josh, you can talk about that. Talk
Sure.
about the bunker this year. That was
Yeah.
that really started to take off this year.
Yeah. So first of all, shout outs to Brian Christian Adam, the Endeavors. Go follow him on all
Amazing
the social medias.
photography, amazing music photography,
Yeah, wonderful human being. Love you, Brian. I got
amazing
the
djembe player.
I got the opportunity to join the bunker, the local live stream out of Fletch's basement, the bunker, and I've been getting the opportunity to meet new bands every week. Some bands, I got to meet Jackson Adams in person for the first time. Hanging Cities played, Chord Cabal, Mirabilia, which is kind of the same vibe. I don't know if you know those guys, but same kind of vibe as Young Detectives, and Young Detectives also played a show.
Young Detectives, we need to get them on here.
Oh yeah,
They got
Chris.
They got some mad Interpol vibes too. I love it.
So we've had some fantastic bands, and it's been a whole learning experience along the way for us too. Just getting all the lights and the cameras and everything set up, and so
Yeah.
it's just always going up, raising the bar.
Right. Just to preface that, it was started last year. It's a local live stream concert series that this amazing man Fletch just decided to start up in the pandemic to
'Cause why
give artists an opportunity to share their music with the world, and for all the people who, well, everyone who couldn't make it out to live shows because there were none. And he just was a, I don't know, tech geek. He just had all this equipment and everything that you would need to do a super produced, high quality live stream. So if you guys haven't discovered the bunker yet, go check it out. It's amazing. There's some of our alums have been on there. Our alums on the Underbelly hours. I was hoping it didn't sound as cringy as it came out, but it came out. I graduated from the School of Underbelly in all things ours. Yeah. Those who have made it through the icebreaker games without being awkward as all hell.
We've had some really good answers on those games, like some pretty in-depth answers. I enjoy those games.
I think we've gotten better at delivering them too, because I think when we started that concept of icebreakers are always a good concept. I'm going to defend that because people sometimes don't know what they're getting into in an interview. They're maybe nervous. Shows that it helps us show them that we're also just being goofy and nice people. But
We just want to have fun.
Right. I think when we started it though, we weren't quite embracing the awkwardness as much as we should have.
Right.
So there was moments where people were just like, would you ban? Like we asked, would you ban for some of the wrong bands? Like people were just like, what do you mean this guy smells like weed? I don't know, whatever stupid thing that we would ask, you know. So I think the icebreakers is one thing that we're hopefully going to keep getting better at. But maybe even I think next year we should.
Got to get some new ones.
Of getting a couple new ones.
Yeah, but because the synthesis game is so good for first timers, and we have a lot of first timers on here, so it's like
There's some fun improv games that I was.
this isn't turning into an improv class. Get that stupid theater shit out of here. We're musicians. We're not acting dorks.
Bunch of theater nerds.
I can say that. I was once one. I still am. Really? It was the last, like, not last, but it was a good 24 years of my life. And you knew me at age 11. Yeah, no, totally forgettable. But then again, also I wore nothing but leather jackets also for a long ass time, and Adela said, "No, I can never see you in a leather jacket." I'm like, I literally wore a leather jacket to the Elmhurst studio every week. I never wore anything but the leather jacket. And she's like, "I've never seen you in one. I can never see you in it."
No, I wasn't that adamant about it, but
You totally
to be
were.
fair,
It was all over text. I could read the tone. It was all over the spaces.
the periods.
Oh, God, don't get me started on the periods.
The lack of exclamation.
Yeah, I know. How could I? Well, it's because, to be fair, I forget, guys. Sometimes I forget Dan's other life as a haired man. Because I feel like you looked so different that I forget that
I
you
did.
did certain things. Like, I remember when I first met you, you were performing with Tonic Fright Train at, like, the Elmhurst Battle of the Bands or something. And you were wearing,
Yeah.
like, this ridiculous scarf that I could never picture you wearing now. In
No,
a good
I
way,
couldn't
like,
do it.
like, you know, like a frontman kind of thing.
Yeah.
But because you had long hair, it worked.
Right.
As a
I could
bald
not do it,
man,
no.
I
No,
feel
have
like
to completely change my style.
yeah. So I just
It's going to be a
forget.
pain in the ass.
And if you guys haven't seen Dan with hair yet, go to the Facebook page of the Underbelly Hours and click on our old photo
Yeah,
shoot
just go through the
with
photos.
Angelica Delaney. Delaney?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought, okay. She's fantastic. Go
Amazing
follow her.
photographer.
Amazing photographer. But it's so funny because I had short hair and he had long hair, and now I have long hair and he has no
I
hair.
have no hair.
Oh, how the turns have tabled. Okay.
Yeah. So, wow, we've been through a lot, haven't we?
We have. It's been a crazy ride, dude.
It's been a crazy ride.
It's been a crazy.
We started at the bottom, now we're here.
Which is still close to the bottom.
Which is, if anything, we're just still in the basement. We're still underground. We're not even.
We're not even above
We're not
ground
even above
yet.
the bottom.
Damn, we're below. Well, we just celebrated the 4th year in April. It's gonna be 5 years. Well, but with Andrew, with Dan, it's gonna be Dandruff. That sounds too much like dandruff.
Hey, only
3
5 more years till a $100
4
million Spotify deal.
That's true.
We're almost there.
But still, so it'll be 5 years as Underbelly Hours existed, and then 4 years with you next year.
Yep.
In April. So 4 years, really. We don't count the first year. The first year was a mistake. I was not sure what the hell was going on. It was one person for a 2.5-hour interview on the radio. It was really awkward. I'm glad there's not a whole lot of that.
Did you have any good episodes?
I think Girl with Name Nino was a good episode, but
She
that's
could
because
carry a conversation.
that's because she could, carry a
She
conversation.
could probably, talk anybody's ear off, or in the best way
in
possible.
the best way, right? She was very elaborative
Yeah.
on things, but for people who weren't, it was very awkward. Well, were you there with the Crawl Across the Sky interview?
No.
That was
That was good.
decent.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's also because Nathan's a fucking genius
Hmm.
and is an incredible musician, composer, artist. He's one of those cats that can just, like, you're talking to him and he's like, yeah, I remember that this was, writing this song reminded me of that passage in the Bible. No, not the Bible. A lot of people memorize the Bible, but, like, some random obscure book, and he'll, like, quote you a whole passage from this book that he was obsessed with.
Maybe he has a
and
photographic memory.
maybe he does. Nathan, let me know. But shout out. He's now in Maryland, I think. So
Yeah, I feel like most of the bad episodes are behind us. I don't think we're
yeah, that's true.
unless
There are some bad episodes, but I think they are mostly behind
think-
us.
I don't think we had like a bad episode this year.
This year, I think there was sometimes audio issues.
As far as
By
well, technical
sometimes, I mean-
difficulties.
Technical difficulties. As far as like technical difficulties,
We're
we
trying
had
new
some-
stuff.
We had some hiccups here. By hiccups, no, I still feel bad about that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
we got nobody else, so we're kind of stuck with you.
Well, yeah, no, I
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my god. I remember watching a couple like the Zoom interviews last year. Well,
Those
well
are hard to get
overall.
through.
How does? I mean, obviously it feels better now. But
I hate Zoom.
Yeah,
I
Zoom is-
hate Zoom.
Zoom sucks.
It was just hard for me to stay focused in those interviews. That was a tough
Yeah.
time, which was hard or frustrating because we still had a lot of great guests on last year. It was just the format was so clunky, and then everyone was timing out and glitching out, and you know.
And what's nice about even when the three of us are in a place together and we're talking with people over Zoom, at least we have a feel to what's going on here.
Mhm.
It's less to kind of try and maneuver, but when everyone's over Zoom, just you have a trouble creating like an atmosphere that's welcoming and interesting and engaging.
Right.
Especially when we do like August Hotel comes to mind. Like we have to get that back at some point because 5 different people over Zoom, everyone wasn't sure when to come in, and they did a good job, you know, given what happened. But like it's hard. Everyone was like in a different place. That was rough.
Mhm.
So I'm very glad that we had this format this year and we're able to get some people in person too.
Oh yeah,
Which is
I love that.
One thing that worked really well was Nature's Neighbor. Like just this year, even though they were in 2 different locations, like that seemed to flow nicely. Like, what's his name? Terrell and Nathan, Mike. You know, totally wrong.
We're really good at remembering the artists' names, but
Yeah.
not the artists' individual names.
Yeah, like that worked really well. Like, maybe because like they were already like coordinated, you know, and were able to get in together. And we were here. There's a lot less moving parts. It seemed like than as opposed to like everybody, like what Dan was saying. It's everybody's remote. Everybody's like, there's a lot of moving parts, and it's much clunkier.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool really quickly too to talk about, I don't know if we're gonna go back to some of the singles, but
Yeah, let's just do a quick run through of the songs,
Okay. Because
and then we'll close out with maybe like our favorite artists and what we're looking forward to for the new
I
year.
was gonna say looking forward to, because we had 1 or 2 questions actually coming through the Instagram
Oh.
about things people were curious if we would do next year.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, let me start off with my list again then. Well, I already talked about Bloomin', Crab Cat,
Not
Bloomin'. Sorry. And sorry, I have to shout out Broken Robots again because I'm just gushing. They also released a single after their EP called Runaway. Also a jam. But because we already gushed about them a little bit, I won't hang on them too long. So I'll go to another personal homie, favorite of mine, Mr. Jack Byron, fellow philosopher, songwriter. That was so much fun.
And that was one that was so much better when he came in.
Yes.
Because over Zoom it was just like, it's hard to find the flow with people.
Mm-hmm. So he just put out a new song called, well, not just, but this year he put out a new song called Endless Summer, and it's so nice. It's like, it's so Jack Byron. He's in Nashville now, I think. Somewhere in Tennessee. Somewhere.
He's a traveling man.
He is, I mean, he's traveling a lot now. Yeah. But he's coming back for some shows this month, so I'm going to be out to see him. But he came out with a song called Endless Summer, and the cover art is adorable. It's with him and his wife in a nice sunny woods area, and it's just got that good classic like Americana folk sound that I think he did so well on his Two Travelers EP. So I just want to play like a little bit of it, get some tunes going. You'll see what I mean when he gets to the chorus. Also, he writes such good choruses. Like, his songs get stuck in my head all the time.
Flashing lights to the neon moon. Saturday night is looking good on you. We can drive this car around, see what there is to find. Lightning bug in the middle of June with you next to me. It's a hell of a view. We got a little money and a lot of time. We belong to the stars that shine. Oh, it's just one of those nights. You wear that dress, the one that I like. Oh, it's just one of those nights. There's a fire in your eyes and it's burning bright. Ooh, I can feel it in the air. You're next to me, I'm a millionaire. Ooh, I can feel it in my bones. You are my rock, I'm on a roll. You are my rock, I'm on a roll.
I just love that classic sound. It's got such a good classic, you know.
It's very Americana.
Yeah.
And it's homey.
Mm-hmm.
It's a homey feel to it.
So that's my one of my that it totally skipped my like feed. I never knew about it until I was there were so many researching for this and going back over all the songs that just completely whoop, how did I miss that? Next up, Emily Blue. See you in my dreams.
Fucking amazing. Just amazing. That's just it. She's just
Yeah, let's just go like full blown 80s power ballad. Just like
she's one of those artists who can just do whatever the fuck she wants at any point in time.
Yep.
She pulls it off.
So, if you haven't listened to Emily Blue yet, go.
Yeah.
Go do that now.
Before
If you like
tickets are like $300 or whatever.
Right. If you like that, like, I don't know, it's not just like pure pop because there's so many influences
right
that
now-
get integrated.
Right.
You know, so it's like this one was an 80s power ballad, and then
think her
After Love
whole-
was a little bit more of a.
But that's still got a little bit of that 80s like
it did have a little bit of
what's her name? Who's the chick that does is it Pat Bed? No.
that. Pat Benatar. I
Think so.
don't think I heard that in there, but
I heard a little bit of that maybe.
maybe Eurythmics.
Eurythmics a little, yeah. I think her whole album coming out in January is going to be fueled a little bit by that.
Probably. And then that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Dang. I guess I'll finish off with Free by Pluto Black.
Good shit.
That one made it on like my night cruising playlist. I just cuz it's like got that like I love when people rap over the like just like chill piano, kind of jazzy, a little bit of a lo-fi vibe, not complete lo-fi. You know, it's not like lo-fi beats to study and relax to, but it's but it's definitely got a lo-fi vibe, and it's really good for cruising. And I always love his flow. And in case you didn't know, Pluto Black was Vagabond Maurice, which we talked about earlier. So
Incredible.
maybe play a little bit of that here too.
And dope person. Yeah, really quick, I'm just running through a couple of the ones that obviously it's impossible to pick just a couple, but there's a couple that really stood out to me. I want to give a shout out to Ben Bonner's theme by Geeked. It's on his LSD album, Lakeshore Drive album. The album itself is called Je, and LSD was another one of the tracks there. But Ben Bonner's theme is just hilarious. I don't know if you've heard it. It's really, really grooving. It's really, really tight. It's just, but the lyrics are kind of funny because it's like from the point of view of a kid who is being made fun of at school because his last name is Bonner, but the kids call him Ben Boner. It's just really fun. Here, let me just play a little bit of it because the influences are kind of like hard rock or like a little more psychedelic and fun stuff. Christians are great. Here. This is what vocal style. her song, so
Hmm.
I like it. I'm not sure if you like it, but I like it a lot. Geeked. He doesn't always sing like that. That's
I hate
specifically for
Smashing
that
Pumpkins.
song.
So
He loves Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll just leave it at.
All right. That's why I wasn't sure if you were gonna like it. I think it's a little evident.
Hate Billy Corgan so much.
Sometimes it's one of those things. You either like him or you don't.
I don't think anyone actually likes the man.
No, not the man, but like the vocal style, right? I really like that one. Also, here's one that I also want to shout out. There's a bunch of things that like we overlap in, but another one that I think you would really like actually, that I really, really loved. And this is also somebody that was on my new finds for this year. Her name is Lynn. I believe
Manuel?
Lynn Rye. And she didn't release an album this year, but she released a Tiny Desk video that just like blew me away, and I'm so looking forward to when she's going to make more music. It's very chill. Look at her bass too. It's like got 7 strings, 6 strings.
Draws boundaries round to flood. The road is drowned, the way is shut. The two boys make a line, don't they?
And then it kind of like vamps up and gets a
Yeah.
little bit louder and louder and kind of like starts to
No, for
steamroll.
sure. Yeah, you read me better with that one.
Yeah. No. And to be fair, I knew you weren't potentially not gonna like Geek because of the very strong Smashing Pumpkins vibe.
Might be an
song.
understatement.
In that song. But yeah, that's one right. Really want to get her on the show because
Yeah, let's do it.
dope as hell.
Yeah,
She's
no,
great
I
bassist
love
too.
that vibe. I love those like just very kind of when people can make an arpeggio like a pedal tone kind of thing and just kind of keep going with that. The guitar
Yeah.
in there was like what Leonard Cohen always does.
Lay.
Where it's like he's just going with that arpeggio with the finger picking, like, and he's just
Right.
going with those chords, and it just becomes this
Mhm.
drone almost, but
Yeah,
arpeggio.
truly does. And there's more, but I think maybe we can just do a little social media post. Social media posts.
We don't usually talk this long. Our brains are breaking.
Yeah, that's true. For those, I think could be cool.
Let's
Just,
do it. Yeah,
know.
no. So I think we got a pretty good list. Today was so much fun just listening to everything again. I mean, the past 2 days, but
Right.
I was like compiling the list and then listening to things that and again, like there was so much I listened to that I didn't include just because there's only so much time to talk about things, and there's only so much, you can say, and like, hey, hey.
Yay, yes.
So, but yeah, lots of good music this year. It was
Do you
a
want to
good
just
year.
really quickly shout out a couple of people that were our new finds this year?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. You want to
Okay. Sure. Well, Tall Doug was a new find.
go?
I know he's not like new on the scene, but I never knew him before, and now he's one of my favorites.
You know, our local hero. Tall
Yes.
Dog.
I found another like Americana band called Painted Canyon, and they released an album called Permanent Reflection. Let me just play you a little bit of my favorite tune. It's the opening track. It's called Olivia, and it has a little bit of that like. I asked my girlfriend because she's the country listener. So I don't know if something's like actually country or not when I'm listening to something. I may be like, oh yeah, that sounds like country. And she's like, nah, it's not really country. I'm like, okay. Sorry. It sounded like it. And she's like, nah, it's more like Americana. And, she said she was getting some Tom Petty vibes and stuff. But
I grew up in a farming town. Knew I had to be home when the sun went down. Fields of green under a sunset crown. Back in my hometown.
right, it opens up and it's like, ooh.
Very like, and the
Friends so tired, not a word was said. At 5 a.m. in a
Mine's also
pickup
very
bed. We worked the fields till our arms turned red. Back in my hometown, where I was raised, there was one stoplight shutting Main Street down every Friday night. On the edge of town where the stars are bright. Olivia, I miss
It's a very subtle way to
Olivia,
describe
I
Olivia.
miss you.
Yeah. Makes me just want to like sit on the bed of a pickup truck drinking some Bud Light, you know, with my blue jeans on a farm, you know, getting some good old blue collar work done, you know. You know what I'm saying?
Do we, Dan?
No, I don't know. I was switching
know what you're
accents too. I was like going all over
cold
the place.
night.
On a
Cold
cold
beer.
night, cold beer.
Oh man, cold beer on a Sunday night, right, or Saturday night?
I don't know.
What's that fucking chicken fried song?
Chicken fries.
Oh yeah, fried chicken. No, chicken
No.
fried. It is chicken fried. It never made sense to me.
Fried.
I don't even
Cold beer on a Saturday night, Friday night.
I don't know.
Whatever. I don't listen to country, obviously.
No, my cliche country go to is the super bass guy that all of a sudden he just like it what's the line? Like the music kind of stops and then he comes in. It's like, better lock that door and turn the lights down low. Better lock, oh here down. But even lower. It's even lower.
Yeah.
Better
Damn.
lock down the door and
No,
turn the lights down low.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, well,
All right.
shit. Somebody's about to get busy.
I know.
Seriously, it's so bass. It's such a bass.
That's awesome, actually.
Like, I'm actually kind of just jealous that he can go that low. It's pretty ridiculous. That is one thing that I will give country is that they really let some bass singers shine.
That's true.
You know, there's no bass singers really in like rock really. There's
Well,
baritones. There's moody baritones.
It'd be hard for them to
But-
cut through necessarily, I guess. Like maybe sometimes
Mm.
if like a really bass is like in a big rock band, sometimes it could be hard for that low voice to cut through, you know?
True, I guess, yeah.
I don't know.
You're right, yeah. So
2 cents.
them and then yeah, I think they just really picked up on me because I also discovered Billy Strings this year. So I was just in like that
Veil of String.
getting that twang going and just rocking out to some good bluegrass Americana.
Go.
You know, even though that boy's from Michigan.
That doesn't matter.
So good.
So tight. Really young. Like the guy looks really young too. And he sounds like he's like a 40-year-old country singer. Not country singer, but
I would disagree with that, but
uh,
does not sound 40.
I was-
40
I
sounds
was-
like the guy is like, better lock down the door and turn the lights down
I was being
low."
exaggerative.
Well, you're bad at it.
Oh,
Kidding. See, now you know what it's like to be on the show. You know, you're getting Adela's treatment.
That's true. It's true.
This is what I do to Adela
This
all
is
the time.
this is the roast.
I'm just gonna.
That's also You're his friend. I'm sorry for you. On a daily basis.
Yeah, and then Crab Cat again. They're new. I discovered them this year, and
Cool beans.
yeah, I can't wait to hear more from them. So, boom.
Ryan Burns is my top. One of my definitely up on my new finds. We just found
You're right.
this
You're right.
and he was like an accident too. Like what happened? Like we were just like, we really need somebody for an event or something. It was either that must have been last year. Shit. No, never mind. He's not my find this year. I forgot about 2020 again. Because we did Concert on Wheels in 2020, right? That's what
Yes.
About
Yep.
the band jump.
Yes.
Okay, so never mind. Ryan, you're awesome, but
I was gonna say. I was like, was that this year? I feel like we've known about him.
right. Don't no idea what the hell happens with time. Okay, Kurt Summers, I discovered this year. He's a rapper. I really enjoy his flow, and he's got really great production value. He's a good storyteller. I really liked his stuff. Sir Mango was a band I just found out about this year. They were on a bill opening for Sheila Rosa at Sleeping Village, and they kind of got a little bit of that like Brit pop 90s, kind of like a what's that band? Blur kind of feel to them, but a little bit more like updated. I really like it. So Sir Mango, shout out to Sir Mango. Also Marisol La Brava, Spanish American or Hispanic American band. I think they're a family band. I think it's like a husband and wife and a daughter even. I have to double check on that. But really cool stuff. Quinceañera. I fell in love with this year, so pretty cool. And then Scarlett D'Amour, because of Bitter Jester Music Festival, found out about them. They're a young band from Madison, Wisconsin. They don't have anything out yet, really, so I couldn't really shout them out in the show. But they have like something out that's a little. But their live performance was incredible. The lead singer has a fantastic voice, so I'm like keeping tabs on them because the second that they're gonna release something, we're gonna invite them up to a show. They're really good. You're just gonna have to take my word for it. So.
Yeah, sure. Like Geeked.
Well, I said that knowing you might not like it.
I can never trust you again.
I think if you listen to the rest of the album, you might change your mind. That was
He said his favorite band, Smashing Pumpkins. I doubt we're gonna vibe well. I'm sorry. It's nothing personal.
sorry, Christian.
Sorry. I just can't do Smashing Pumpkins
Yeah,
or anything related.
Dan's been like this ever since I can remember about Smashing Pumpkins. So.
I was born and I just knew that one day there was going to be this little bald-headed cuck that tries to, make music and fails miserably and stumbles into fame and success.
When Dan was born, he was going to be named Billy, and then he like punched the doctor. Whatever.
Make her change the name.
Oh man, what a ride it has been this year. Lots of great things are coming for next year. I know it's
Yeah.
good plans. We can't talk about all of them.
I'm super hyped.
But some of them are still to be solidified.
Right.
What are some things we can talk about though?
I don't know.
Oh well. Okay.
Whatever it is, I don't think we can mess up worse than that one guy. Shit, I forgot his name. I was gonna make a funny reference. Never mind. Forget it.
All right. Well.
Cut that. And start.
I want to answer really quickly. There was a question on Instagram that somebody raised, which was, are we going to go back to doing a music concert calendar because lots of things are happening in the area, and this is from Jules. And the answer is maybe. I
Maybe. Yes.
think that since I do a concert calendar for 101 FM, I will continue to maybe try and transfer that over next year and make it a little bit more just local music onto the Underbelly or our social media.
Right, and I can try and help as much as I can.
Yeah, because I think that was kind of nice. The Chicago Soundcheck does a good job too if you guys ever want to go look up stuff. But
Yeah, I would say mostly just go to Chicago Soundcheck and his site for updates on shows and stuff, because he has really good coverage on and good picks and good finds of highlighting the shows that you want to be at.
Right.
And I feel like I don't know, we're doing a lot of stuff and gearing up for a lot more things. So I'm afraid of the consistency of that.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like, again, depending on what you can manage with your job as well. Maybe we do more like show shout outs, but having like a full-fledged calendar
No, I
might be a
I'm picturing like a social media post.
Yeah.
And then like a shout out, a couple
That'd be a
shout
segment.
outs.
That'd be a segment at the beginning of the show. So.
Oh yeah, we should bring
Maybe
him
a
back
good
in the
place.
episodes.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's what we used to have him in the episode. You're
That'd be
right.
a nice change of pace from just new music every week, which new music every week is great.
No, what we did before is that we had new music and shows. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
So, well, that will bring back. Yeah.
I think let's bring it back. Let's strive on bringing it back. At least trying out 1 or 2 shows because I know that Jules would bring up a good point. And Chicago Centric does a good job of covering things, but even they miss certain. It's just sometimes it's like dependent on who you know. Like
You're right.
you know, I'll get invited to a Facebook event show that Shane will have missed because
Mhm.
our circles aren't exactly the same. So yeah, I think it could be cool to bring back. We also
Or
have
Facebook or Instagram is just being an asshole and won't actually show us things that are happening unless we
That's true.
go get invited or go search it out ourselves because, if they didn't pay for an ad, it
Yeah.
might not come across our feed or our research or whatever, you know?
Another good show checker though website is do312.com.
Oh, yeah.
Do312 Chicago.
Yeah.
I use that a lot for work. It shows you a lot of what's happening. Similar issue where you have to, if you're an event programmer, coordinator, whatever, you have to sign up for the website and then post. But you don't have to pay, luckily, to post on that website. You have to be cognizant that it exists.
Also, local bands get on bands in town.
Yes. That would help out significantly.
Get on bands in town and then actually like push that, promote that, have people subscribe to you. It's just one extra little ding notification that they might get about a show.
Exactly.
And we all need about 8 dings before we actually pay attention, right?
Right. No, seriously. I mean, it's true. That's the age we live in. It's sad, but
I hate this algorithmic world.
people need to be reminded, right? Mockingbird, go camera bus, check it out.
11001100100100100110.
We also have a question about our local showcase, actually. People wanted to know, I forget who, because I accidentally deleted the message. Somebody on Instagram. Sorry, guys. Someone on Instagram wanted to know if we can, give a heads up for the next couple of months what dates, because they're interested in checking out the showcase, what dates
Yeah.
it will be on, and we did talk about doing that. So hopefully that'll be dropping once we confirm
Mhm.
and the artists for each showcase, because it's cool to see that people are interested in coming out to support in Wheaton.
Yes, we
The
plan
merrier.
for the showcase. We plan on doing a mix of. We're always gonna have new artists, but maybe every showcase every month we bring back one that we had before, just to get that name some extra boost and stuff. Because again, every time we've had a showcase, we've gotten great response from people who've been there. They love what they hear. They come up and ask who are you guys? What do you do? Who are these guys? And they're always impressed. But again, people need to see things 3, 4, 5 times. So we want to, kind of bring back that, that kind of thing of. I mean, if we could have a full residency there, that'd be awesome. That's really how you get people to pay attention. But we can't. So our best is to just keep inviting some of the same players out that really shined before. So, and then things will be booked more in advance this year. So we will be able to get all the, months out to you ahead of time. Probably 3 months out and stuff. But try and count on the 3rd Saturday of every month.
That's a good thing to kind of just use as put a little calendar reminder. 3rd Saturday of the month. Oh my God, that's probably the Underbelly Out Showcase if you really want to come out and see it, which you should. We
Right.
encourage everyone to do so.
The only time it doesn't happen on that day, and we have to push it to the 4th, is just weird scheduling conflicts maybe with the brewery, or something that we all have ourselves maybe. So, but or a holiday.
This month, so we're not doing this month, right? Yeah.
So
I think, and most of the other things maybe we'll just keep as a secret. We'll surprise you guys in the new year. Is there anything else that we can divulge at this point?
We're using microphones,
We're using microphones.
yeah, the sound should be getting better.
We're gonna try to
Audio
stop hitting the
quality.
table. I'm gonna try and stop hitting the table when I talk.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep upping it up, and upping it up, man. I like it. Don't throw shade at me for pointing something. Do you want
I
to fight right
liked
now?
it.
No, I hear the condescension
fuck
in your
you.
tone. All right, I don't need this shit right now. You want to fight right now, man? I'm kidding. It would be so funny if we ended it on like a fight and we just break up and it's like, "You're fired. Get out of here." It's like, well, Adela, I guess we're starting off the new year without a video guy.
Commercial.
I guess what I would just pose to the listenership for this new year is, just I would ask to reach out to us with more of what you would like, maybe more fan suggestions, because we get a lot of submissions now, but we would also be really interested in hearing about what other people are discovering. And if you want somebody on, send us an email or a direct message, and we'd love to hear that too. And then as well, any other kind of content type stuff that you'd like to see from us. Now that we're upping it up. Yeah, we're just trying to really just help build the scene. Build back better. What a great slogan, guys. But
good to begin with, though.
but yeah.
So good that it's bad.
But the point remains that we're just trying to build this thing continuously to be bigger and better, and to shine more light on the scene for everybody, not just our musician friends and stuff like that, but like we're trying to reach the common man who is looking for new music too. The commoner, those filthy casuals out there that need it.
Peasants.
They're lazy. They're just they're listening to yeah. They're just listening to whatever the radio gives them or whatever the algorithms are giving them and stuff, and it's all the same garbage. So we're trying to, I say bring back, the gatekeepers, man. There's too much shit out there. That's what I'm saying. But no. But last point.
Actually, you know what?
With all those big things, I would like to hear what interest there would be, because we always talked about this but never actually put it out there. I don't think was if you guys would be interested in maybe supporting us through like a Patreon type thing and then getting bonus content for doing so. Either like then we could maybe spend time to do a full like show calendar thing, or bonus episodes to talk about events and highlight events, or go to more events and cover more events live and stuff like that. 'Cause then, support in that way would help us a lot, and just make the show better,
Right. I mean, or just, hey, like, if there's anything that you want to see, I guess we just mentioned that, the live shows, like live coverage, or even we're all active in the music business in one way or another, and we've seen when we've made mistakes that hopefully we can like help people learn from. If you guys ever want to hear us talk about something that's happening in the music world and like hear our takes on it, or maybe have us invite guests who are more knowledgeable than us in things like, the first thing that comes to mind is NFTs, but we don't have to talk about NFTs, but anything that's like
Fad.
I think so too, but that's a whole other
We can talk about the baby.
well, there's a lot of
Kidding.
interesting stuff that's
I don't want to talk about that.
in music, so let us know your thoughts, and we'll
And we could
make
talk
this-
about who's the guy who like murdered his fans.
Oh, Travis Scott.
Oh yeah, that guy.
we started this as a
Cock.
interview podcast, and this is still definitely an interview type of show, but we want this to be like a little resource and home for local music where musicians can come check out shit, but also, like Dan just mentioned, the common man, people can just come and
Check out what's going on in their backyard,
right.
because there's a lot of good stuff happening in your backyard.
So however you guys, whatever you think would help with that, just let us know. We're working on it and would love to have y'all along for the ride. We might have some merch coming soon too, but we're working on some redesigns of ideas. So that could be fun.
To the moon.
I was gonna say, let us
Don't get too
know.
excited.
Let us know if you let us know what you would like to wear as far as merch, or have as far as merch too, if you're interested. Because some people reached out about the mugs again. We're out now officially.
Thank God.
Thank God, because we're still we still have t-shirts, which I was referencing.
I mean, we could get better mugs. I think that's a wrap. That's been a year, folks. And I didn't even shout out Pinot Farino. What am I doing?
Wait a second. Pinot Farino.
Because it just came out.
Yeah.
I was trying to make sure I got all the things that
Daisies.
were released earlier.
Daisies. Song Daisies is great. And also Pinot Farina Band. You guys are just so good. Amazing.
Dude, they jam hard live. Every time I see them live, it's just like, oh, yes.
Dude, I know. It's incredible.
I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life. If they can get up there and just keep that energy with everything that they got going on. Yeah.
Anything we can do to help spread the word, we would gladly do for the Pinot Farina Band. Because
I'm totally in the fan club, man.
Yeah, same. Absolutely. Yeah.
Give me a glass of wine and call me a wine mom. Let's go.
3 glasses of Pinot.
There we go.
That was so bad. I'm sorry, Pinot and pals.
And with that, sorry, we just had to plug one more. We couldn't end this professionally or cleanly.
God, no.
We had to rant a little bit.
So yeah. Thanks for sticking with us in 2021. We'll see you in 2022.
It's gonna be big.
It's gonna be
Big things are coming. Big things happening soon. Yo, yo, big
We
things.
can't say what's happening. It's just big things happening soon, guys.
Yeah, just big things, man.
big things. Thanks for coming along to ride.
Thank you so much. We love all of you. We couldn't keep going without all of your love and support. So,
So,
you're Adela,
you're Dan.
and that's Josh.
And
And this has been another year of the Underbelly Hours in my basement.
Boy. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl. It's the boys. All sorts of things are happening on the show today.
So, yeah, welcome to the show.
Oh, it'll be a good time.
If you like what you hear,
Are you ready?
you can find us on Underbelly Hours,
All sorts
on all the socials, where you get your favorite local takes on the local greats.
Here it comes. Ready? Sing it with us.